5 Signs You Are Dealing with a Narcissist and Suffering Abuse, Part 1. In our celebrity-driven, selfie-obsessed culture, the term narcissism is frequently used to describe someone who appears to be overly self-centered or arrogant. Narcissism, psychologically speaking, does not imply genuine self-love. It is more accurate to say that those who suffer from a narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, are in love with an idealized and exaggerated version of themselves. And the very reason they are in love with this exaggerated self-image is that it enables them to steer clear of intense feelings of insecurity. But it takes a lot of work to support their fantasies of grandeur. And this is where dysfunctional attitudes and behaviors are generated. The egotistical behavioral condition includes examples of self-love, pompous reasoning and conduct, an absence of compassion and thought for others, and an unreasonable requirement for reverence. People with NPD are frequently characterized as arrogant, manipulative, selfish, patronizing, and demanding. Every facet of the narcissist's life is affected by this way of thinking and acting, from friendships and work to family and romantic relationships. Even when their behavior is causing them problems, those who suffer from narcissistic personality disorder are extremely resistant to making the change. They frequently assign blame to others. In addition, they have a high level of sensitivity and are easily offended by even the tiniest criticisms, disagreements, or perceived slights, which they consider to be personal attacks. To avoid the narcissist's coldness and rage, it is frequently simpler for those who are in the narcissist's life to comply with their demands. However, as you learn more about narcissistic personality disorder, you will be able to identify narcissists in your life, defend yourself against their manipulations for power, and establish healthier boundaries. In this video, we want to talk about these things, specifically 5 signs you are dealing with a narcissist and suffering abuse. So please like this video and subscribe to this channel for future updates. Number 1, narcissists lack empathy. They don't care about your thoughts and your feelings. They see you only as an extension of themselves. You exist in their life only to fulfill their desires and their needs. Therefore, they don't care about your feelings or your thoughts. Their aim is to dominate you. Male or female, one of their favorite tactics is to love bomb you. They do this by saying ego-inflating things like, "I only feel like this when I'm with you," or "You look better every time I see you." And if they are really bold, they might try, "It's getting harder and harder to say no to you." Statements like these will loosen up your emotions and have you think that you are with someone who cares. Number 2, narcissists never take responsibility for events in their lives. They always blame others for whatever is going on in their life. They take no responsibility for their words or their deeds. They will always find someone to blame. And why do they do that? Because they are insecure. The confidence that you sometimes see when you deal with a narcissist is just a mask. They are extremely fragile, and they don't want to recognize that sometimes maybe they aren't perfect. They have this mask of perfection always covering the fragile ego. Blaming others is their way of surviving. Narcissists always blame other people and take no responsibility for their words or their behaviors. Their mantra is, "That didn't happen. And if it did, it wasn't that bad. And if it was, it's not a big deal. And if it is, it's not my fault. And if it was, I didn't mean it. And if I did, you made me do it." Signs number 3. Narcissists have this deep need to be constantly validated and admired by other people. And as I said, their ego is very fragile. So getting validation and getting admiration from the external world and other people is something they must do. Unfortunately, the paradox is that even if you do love this person and even if you support them, nothing is ever good enough. They always want more because this emptiness that they feel inside is simply emptiness, and nothing you do, nothing you say will ever be good enough for them. So this desire to be constantly validated, to be constantly admired by other people should be a red flag for you, and realize that you're possibly dealing with a narcissist. This is the end of part one. In part two, we will talk about some narcissistic ways of manipulation. We'll talk about gaslighting and ways that they will actually isolate you from yourself. Consider stopping your hobbies. And at the end, we'll have a few words for the narc who's seeking therapy. See you on part two. Signs you are dealing with a narcissist and suffering abuse, part two. Number 4. Narcissists are very good at manipulating people. One of the strategies that they use is called gaslighting. Gaslighting is about making you question your perception of different events. For example, they will tell you something and then later swear they didn't see it and say it and that you are mistaken. It's a very insidious form of psychological manipulation where you will gradually start to question yourself and question your sanity. They love planting the seeds of self-doubt in your mind. And number 5, narcissists love building an isolating platform for their victims. They would, for example, pretend at first that they like your friends, but then they would start talking about them in a not so very nice way behind their backs. This would start suggesting that this friend is not a great influence in your life. Or they would start to limit the time that you spend doing the things that you love, and that's how they separate you from your hobbies. Also, these different manipulation techniques have one thing in common. They are supposed to make you doubt your sanity. So in this insidious way, narcissists isolate you from yourself. You feel more and more isolated. And why do they do that? Well, it's because they want to have absolute control over you and your life. You might wake up one day and discover that they are the only person that's left. And that will be a paradise for the narcissist, but an absolute nightmare for you. These are the 5 signs that I wanted to share with you. If you've just discovered that, yes, maybe the person that you have in your life is a narcissist, what could you do even today to protect yourself and your mental health? Well, you could start by creating some boundaries between you and this person. I realize that if this person is your partner, or maybe your parent, and you still will live with your parents, that can be challenging. But you can start creating these boundaries even in your mind by reminding yourself constantly that whatever this person says or does, it's not about you at all. It's all about them. It is the reflection of who they are. So that's one of the things that you can do. Another thing that you can do is minimize how much time you spend with this person. If for now you have to be in touch with them, make it the absolute minimum amount of time that you spend with them. And having physical distance is extremely helpful. As you embark on the journey to heal yourself from such emotional abuse, I hope you find this video useful. I wish you all the best, and I hope you will be able to protect yourself from the devastation that narcissists bring into people's lives. Share this video with anyone who might be struggling with a narcissistic relationship, dealing with narcissism. People with high levels of narcissism, or NPD, may learn to recognize their behavior with the right treatment. Their lives and the lives of those around them may benefit from this. Now, because it conflicts with their self-perception, narcissists have historically avoided seeking help. For them to seek personal assistance may require the support of a loved one. If you are in a relationship with a narcissist, you may be able to change the relationship dynamics and push your partner to change how they see you and your relationship. Here are a few words for the narcissist. It is possible to lessen some of the negative effects of narcissistic behavior. You can begin to shift your self-esteem towards self-compassion if you recognize your narcissism. This implies not contrasting yourself with others, but rather treating yourself with thoughtfulness. You can reduce your need for praise and recognition by ceasing to compare yourself to other people. I hope you have learned something from this video. If you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to give it a like and also share it with someone who could benefit from it. If you have any questions about the 5 signs you are dealing with a narcissist and suffering abuse, then please feel free to let me know in the comments section. I hope you have a great day. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.